PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Well, so over the last couple of weeks, I've had some invitations to go to Toyota Motor North America and to do a presentation on accessorization. So once somebody buys an SUV or a truck, and SUVs and trucks are really the go-to for adding accessories. If you're in the world of off-roading and you go to an overlanding event, and I've said this before, if you go to one of the big overlanding events, 75% of the vehicles that people have equipped with up to $100,000 worth of upgrade gear, off-road, getting off the grid equipment are Toyota and Lexus products. Now, do they buy a brand new Toyota? Absolutely not. They'll buy a 100,000 mile Tacoma or an FJ Cruiser or a 4Runner. And then they'll take that vehicle, make sure mechanically it's sound, and then they start loading it up with all kinds of gear and tech. And they can go virtually anywhere and survive off the grid based upon how they've equipped their vehicle. The unfortunate part of that is, as this continues to grow, as more and more people take advantage of getting out of the city and going into nature, we're not supplying the accessorization. So during the week, I went to TMNA and we started talking about, what we need to do to get into the accessory market. Let me give you some background to let you know that I kind of know what I'm talking about. So I started selling Toyotas in the 1980s. Please don't do the math. And there was no equipment on Toyotas. I mean, at one year, we were selling Toyota trucks. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to them, but we were selling very dependable Toyota trucks. Advertised price $39.95, less than $4,000. Okay, I was there. I was selling. People would call up and go, "Got any of those $39.95 trucks?" Said, "Yeah, how many do you want?" Now, that truck came with a 4-cylinder engine, a 2.4 liter engine, carbureted when I first started, and it produced an amazing 108 horsepower. It didn't have a radio. It didn't have power steering. It had crank windows. It didn't have a rear bumper. It didn't have an outside passenger mirror. It had vinyl floors, vinyl seats, a 4-speed standard transmission, and there was no money in it. I mean, from the list price that we got from Toyota to the invoice price that my dealer paid was barely over, I think, if I remember right, that's a long time ago, I think it was $111. Well, my dealership had a pack on every new Toyota, and the pack was $250. So it was a $50 minimum commission. When people say, can I get a discount? And I said, I'll give you all $111. There's nothing here for me. So you had to sell accessories to actually make a living to be able to pay your bills. Do you need a rear bumper? Yes. Yes. Would it really be helpful to have an outside passenger? Absolutely. We did cloth seats. We did carpet inserts. Do you need AC? Yeah. I was in Texas in the summer, some AC. And so all of this stuff could be added. So once the truck deal was done, they've agreed to the selling price. Why is that the end of the story? Why is there all of these gigantic buildings that put accessorization, lift kits, tents? There's massive billions of dollars that are spent to upgrade a Toyota that was not accessorized at a dealership. And you all know this. They asked me to come do a presentation, a little PowerPoint, and I've got it scaling through right here. I promise you, if some of these vehicles you're seeing right now showed up at your dealership, everybody's going outside to look at the vehicle. If you will take one vehicle and load it up, you're not going to lose money on it because somebody's going to buy it because that's exactly what they're going to do to it. And some of the features can be Toyota features that come with a Toyota warranty and done by Toyota techs. We're starting to, in the life of ARB bumpers and different things, we're starting to spread our wings a little bit, but we're still not moving the needle. So the multiple years I've been with Toyota, this has come up so many times, maybe every half decade or decade, somebody goes, well, we really need to get into the accessory market. Yeah, right? Why are we funding other companies on our product? You know, I've said for years, why is Toyota only selling 15% of the used Toyotas? So the Toyota dealers, the 1,237 Toyota dealers, sell 15% of the used Toyotas that are sold annually. 85% are sold by everybody else. Why is the Toyota so in demand? You're looking at it. You know, you don't see the little Honda truck all loaded up with a big lift kit on there. You know, some of the big Super Duty trucks that these people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for, they upgrade those things. But the Toyota is the best way to build something where you can go where other people don't go. So let me roll through this real quick. I told them when I went to do this meeting, it's like, you know, the water's cold, and if you put your toe in it, there is a giant chance that you're not going to get in that water. So you're either in or out. For accessorization in your dealership, you're either in or you're out. So when I ran Atlanta Toyota, after they said yes to any product, we took them to the accessory boutique, and we had a truck on jack stands. And we didn't say, would you like an upgrade of wheels and tires? We'd say, which one do you want? We roll them out there, put them next to the truck. And we had an accessory team at the dealership so we could accessorize the vehicle while you were doing the paperwork. And that was where the profitability was, because it was such a competitive market. 13 Toyota dealers in a very general Atlanta metro area. And so, you know, there had to be more than just selling the vehicle, because usually by the time the customer got to us, the vehicle was already sold. They were already going to buy a Camry. They were already going to buy a Toyota truck. They were already going to buy a 4Runner. They were just trying to shop and get the best overall price possible. Well, give them the best overall price possible, sell them $5,000 worth of accessorization. They're going to do it anyway. It's all you have to do is ask. The number one reason why people do not accessorize their vehicle is because the sales professional, the management team in that dealership didn't even present it. They might have put up, I don't know, we go in, we turn the computer on, and we show a bunch of pictures of stuff. You can't buy from a picture. You got to touch it. I got to educate the customer on what's possible. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm telling you it's available, and it's my job as a sales professional to make you understand that this is an option that's available. I can't let you leave without showing this to you. You get the choice of whether you want it or not. Do a lift kit. Put a tent on the back of your truck. You know, buy another truck, move the tent over. We'll do that for you. So it's funny because the SEMA show, you know, how do you sue Toyota because we put a set of lights on the top of a truck? So it's getting to where if we recommend something, and if somebody builds a Toyota truck at SEMA, we're not recommending that you change the destination of the truck, but there's options with Toyota vehicles that people haven't even thought of yet, and they're amazing. Down here, this is one of my favorite dealerships, Ed Martin Toyota, shout out to you guys. Listen, when I'm selling a certified vehicle, I need to tell them who the tech was, I need to tell them what they get with the program, and I need a physical display. If you display it, you don't have to say it. Look at this. I don't even have time to go through this with you, but I've been doing contract work with Toyota since 1993, started selling Toyotas in the 80s. So over 3 decades. So this is my wife, this is Courtney, you guys hear me talking about her all the time. This is her BMW GS 750 low suspension. So she bought this vehicle, the bike, for about $13,000 and some change. And then immediately, gang, let me just count it real quick. I was going to count it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So the way I look at it down here, she's added 42 accessories to this base bike that she bought. Now she gets on the thing and she'll ride across country on it, and she'll go off-road on it. But in order to put that bike from the extra fuel to the tank bag to the lowered pegs to another lowering kit on here to all the luggage to everything she has as far as technology on the bike, from her satellite GPS, this is the way she wanted her bike. Now, did the salesperson at the dealership offer any of this to her? No, no. What they were worried about when she rolled up with her trade-in on a trailer, they were worried about getting the trade-in off the trailer. They came out and said, hey, Courtney, can we help you get the bike off the trailer? She goes, no, I got it. And they go, no, let us help her. So she looks over, she sees they already have her trade sold to another female who needed a lowered bike. And so they weren't worried about selling her anything or upgrading her. She bought the bike basically for what they had in it. And then she added like 3 of those items at a BMW dealership. The rest of the stuff she bought and put on herself. This is exactly the same thing with the truck. So this right here was outside the LA region. And I'm going to play just a couple of seconds of it.
Saturday morning meeting here at the LA region for Toyota Motor North America. Hey, here's a hint.
And so what I'm doing is they have put everything on this truck, and then they've got it listed on the side of the truck, and they've got it parked outside the LA region. I'll be honest with you. It should have been parked outside the LA region. It should have been parked outside your dealership. It should have been driven over to the fire stations and bringing them some sub sandwiches, or the police events, or every single event that goes on in town. The more stuff you put on a Toyota, the better it looks. A good friend of mine, Nick Fisher, made a statement the other day. You know what he said? He said it doesn't look right until you add stuff. And I totally agree with that. You know, you take a new Tundra, it doesn't look right until you put a wheel package on that and maybe a small lift kit. Then the truck is beast mode. And you really not change the performance of the truck, you change the look of the truck. Now you can change the performance, but that's just a minor upgrade. So this is where we are in the world right now. And people have told me my numbers are short, but about $46 billion spent on accessorizing vehicles every single year. And most of this is directed at brand new vehicles. And the reason I say that is they're already there. You're already working with the banking with them. They can add this stuff at a Toyota dealership, which puts it under factory warranty right there, and add it to their monthly payment. This is the best time to be able to bring up any kind of accessorization. So if you look at my chart, this is all the OEMs. This is Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevrolet, everybody. That's the accessorization sold by the dealerships. All right. So if you look at this, it's 10%, and I've heard up to 11% of accessories put on vehicles are done by the manufacturer's dealership. The rest of this money, which is $41.4 billion, has flourished an industry of aftermarket accessorization. The number one reason why somebody doesn't add an accessory to the vehicle is because you didn't ask. It's the number one reason. You know, I'm so worried about selling the vehicle and getting the vehicle out the door that I missed an opportunity to not only make that vehicle look unique, but if I get that vehicle back in trade and they've spent $5,000 to $30,000 worth of accessories on the vehicle, I'm going to be able to sell that thing in one day. Because the more stuff that's on a Toyota truck or an SUV, the faster it sells. When I ran Atlanta Toyota, we had an accessory boutique. Everybody walked the boutique. I'll tell you, and you can verify this for the people that work with me. We had a boutique back there. I had Hollandia sunroofs in the dealership, doing sunroofs in my shop. I had classic soft trim, doing leather kits in my dealership, in my shop. So after the customer had said yes to a Camry with cloth interior, we could rock them right back to classic soft trim and watch them do a leather insertion. And then all of a sudden, a deal that was a no-profit deal, that because of the competitive market of the Atlanta metro area, we're basically selling it at what we own the vehicle for, no profit to the dealership. We made a little bit of profit, which is fine. It's okay to make a profit if you sell stuff, because we added accessorization. Chrome wheels, wheels and tires. And it's just, if you don't have it there for them to see, it's more, instead of a sell or a close, all those acronyms that people use, it's more of, why didn't I offer this? You know, as a consumer, if I went out and I found out you could have done this and I could have put it in my monthly payment, now I'm paying an extra $10,000 to get it done, I'm going, why didn't you offer this? I guess I'd be upset. At least offer. best practices right here. So a physical display. I know that dealers get a little nervous about spending giant money on a vehicle. Well, new vehicles are getting expensive. You know the price. So why don't we do this? Why don't we take a silver certified? And everybody knows that's up to 125,000 miles, up to 10 years old. Let's say I have a 95,000 mile Tacoma that comes in, and it's been babied. I mean, it is a really, really nice truck. And 95,000 miles doesn't hurt a Toyota, gang. You and I both know that. In fact, people that never owned a Toyota know that. And why not spend $10,000 on accessorization and put that thing on the point and drive that thing to different locations around town? If you roll in with this truck right here, anywhere, there's nobody that's not going to come look at this thing. This thing is a beast. And it's so outlandish that it draws a crowd. Do you think you're drawing a crowd if you have 25 Tacomas on the front row of your dealership? Is that drawing a crowd? The first thing I would ask is, well, you got 25 of these. How much of a discount can I get? I don't know that I look at this truck and I don't know that I'm bold enough to ask you for a discount because I know what you've done. And you can break it out. You can put a list out there of everything on there, and you can put the price point on there. Don't be afraid of a $60,000 build. Don't be afraid of a $30,000 build. Because if you want to see them, go to overlanding event. And you're getting, I didn't realize people would spend this much money on their, it's right there, it's happening, it's growing. Parts display. If you got an item that you could sell on any vehicle, that it just doesn't make sense not to add the item. I mean, if it's all-weather mats, that's just a no-brainer. You've got to have a physical display. Have them in the vehicle or have them on the wall. So the top 5 things that you can sell on any vehicle should be displayed in the dealership. And before the customer goes into the banking part of the day, you walk them over and go, these are the 5 things people add to their Tacomas. And you don't have to say, do you want them? You show them to them, and this is what everybody does. And they go, well, how much is this? I said, let's factor it in. What's most important to you? Which one? Do you want all 5? Do you want 3 of them? What would you do to your vehicle if you could do it right now? Journalize the accessories on trades. We have lost the ability to actually appraise a trade. You walk out with the customer on their trade-in. You give them credit for being smart enough to buy that vehicle last time. Why would you not compliment somebody on what they bought last time? You walk out there and they got a set of fuel rims on there and a set of oversized tires. Ask them, did you buy those and add them? Or did you get those on the vehicle when you bought it? It was already on there as a pre-owned vehicle. Anything they have accessorized on the vehicle, I'm just going to make the assumption that they'd like to keep that going, and I'm going to start offering stuff. Ask questions about their trade upgrades, discuss hobbies. I know you're going to drive this back and forth to work, or are you going to go off-road? Tell me about your off-road adventures. Tell me what kind of terrain you're on. You might want to put some armor on this vehicle. The worst thing in the world is to go off-road and not be able to get back, having to walk out. So there's all kinds of stuff we can do. Present the top 5 or top 10 accessories. I have a weekly accessory meeting. Find out what you're selling, what you're not selling, and work together. All departments have to work together. Parts and service and sales. I mean, if we know we're going to sell the Toyotas. We're in the fastest turn rate in the history of Toyota right now. We're selling Toyotas at breakneck speeds. As soon as we get them in, if it's a desirable unit, it's gone. And so what are the items that I can add to this vehicle that makes it more appetizing for me to get back? I want to tell you a little secret. Not every human has an imagination. People learn 3 different ways. They learn visually, audibly, or kinesthetically. And if I'm trying to make them understand something, that's called education. And I can't do it the same way with everybody. So a physical display allows me to say, this is what we've done to this vehicle. Now, there's more that we could have done, but this is what most people will do around here, especially with the terrain and being able to really enjoy your vehicle off-road. Toyotas are capable from the factory. This just takes it to the next level. Why would you not say that? I have the display there. They can sit in it, they can touch it, they can taste it, they can feel it. And now it becomes, I'll have Casey, how much is that? Well, let's figure out what that does to your monthly payment. Now, do you think this truck is going to be worth more when you trade it in? What's the answer to that? Of course it's going to be worth more. It's not the same exact truck. Now, we sold more RAV4s last year than any other vehicle in the United States, There's a lot of RAV4s that are going to be traded in over the next 3 to 5 years, and they're all going to look exactly the same. Making the vehicle look different, differentiating the vehicle adds everything. So let me just say again, my biggest statement when I go to a dealership is, if you display it, you don't have to say it. So in a retail environment, sticking stuff out on the asphalt like parking at the mall is not a way to sell vehicles. To take some vehicles and make them one of a kind changes everything. When people start to dream about things they would like to do, everything changes. PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.